History has seen many kings, many warriors, many conquerors who believed their power would last forever. But sometimes, the person who changes history is not born inside. Discovered what happened. The prince of Egypt became a hunted man. The place that once welcomed him became dangerous. The royal clothes were gone. The comfort was gone. The life he knew disappeared in a single moment. Moses ran into the wilderness, leaving behind the palace, leaving behind his name, leaving behind everything, far away from Egypt. Moses entered the land of Midian. The man who once lived among kings now lived a simple life among shepherds. He helped a family there and eventually built a new life. He married and became a shepherd. Days became months, months became years, and years became decades. 40 years passed. The greatest victories in history are not achieved by human strength. They are achieved when ordinary people walk with divine purpose. Moses took his staff and began the journey back to Egypt. After decades apart, Moses returned to Egypt, but he was not alone. God sent Aaron, his brother, to meet him. Two brothers who had been separated by time were now reunited for a greater purpose. They remembered the past. They remembered the family they lost. But now they had a mission. Together, they went before the elders of Israel. For generations, the Israelites had waited for hope. And now, a message arrived. God had not forgotten them. Their suffering had been seen. Their prayers had been heard. Freedom was closer than they imagined. The moment had finally arrived. The doors of Pharaoh's palace opened. Moses stepped inside, the same halls where he once walked as a prince. Now he entered as a messenger of God. At the end of the great hall sat Pharaoh, the ruler of Egypt, the man who believed no one could challenge him. Pharaoh looked at Moses. The child who disappeared had returned. But he was no longer a prince. He was a prophet with a message. Moses spoke, "Let my people go." The room became silent. Pharaoh looked at him with pride and answered, "Who is this God that I should obey him?" The battle had begun, not between two men, but between pride and faith. Pharaoh refused, again and again. Even after seeing signs of God's power, his heart remained hardened. Then Egypt faced a series of devastating events. The Nile River turned into blood. The waters that gave life to Egypt became a symbol of warning. Then came frogs covering the land. Insects filled the skies. Animals became sick. The people suffered. Storms destroyed crops. Locusts consumed what remained. And then a darkness covered Egypt. For 3 days the mighty empire was covered in fear. The nation that once seemed unstoppable was beginning to fall. But Pharaoh still refused to surrender. His pride was stronger than his fear. Then came the final warning, the most painful night Egypt had ever known. Moses told the Israelites, "Prepare yourselves. A new beginning is coming." Each family sacrificed a lamb. They marked their doorways, and they waited. Outside, Egypt was silent. Inside the homes of Israel, families prayed. They trusted God's promise. Then midnight came, a moment that changed history forever. The next morning, Pharaoh finally broke. The ruler, who refused to listen, was forced to release the people. The command was given, "Leave Egypt." After generations of slavery, the Israelites were free. Thousands of people left Egypt. Men, women, children. They walked toward a future they had never seen. But freedom was about to face its greatest test. Because Pharaoh changed his mind, the Egyptian army prepared its greatest weapons. Hundreds of chariots, thousands of soldiers, and they chased after the Israelites. Ahead of them, the Red Sea. Behind them, the army of Egypt. The people looked around. They saw no escape. Fear spread through the crowd. But Moses stood firm. He said, "Do not be afraid. The Lord will fight for you." Then Moses lifted his staff. The wind began to rise. The waters started moving. Slowly, the impossible happened. The sea began to divide. Walls of water stood on both sides, and a path appeared through the middle. The people stared in amazement. The place where they expected death had become their road to freedom. They walked forward, one step at a time. Families crossed. Children held their parents' hands. The nation moved through the sea, and behind them, the army of Pharaoh followed. But when Israel reached the other side, the waters returned. The greatest army on earth disappeared beneath the waves. Moses began his life as a child who should have been forgotten. He became a prince, then a fugitive, then a shepherd, and finally, a leader chosen by God. His story reminds us, A person's beginning does not determine their ending. The place where you feel lost may be the place where your purpose is being prepared. Because Moses thought his story was over in the wilderness, but God was only beginning. The child in the basket became the man who challenged Pharaoh. The forgotten shepherd became the deliverer of a nation, and his journey would be remembered forever.
Thank you for watching.